This is a list of many of the places the Trump administration has conducted raids to round up immigrants and arrest them and deport them. New York, Chicago, L.A., Seattle, Philadelphia, Denver, Atlanta. At least thus far, the administration seems to be holding these raids predominantly, if not exclusively, in blue cities, in urban areas and parts of the country where more Democrats live than Republicans. For immigrant communities all over the country, the raids are thus far having what is presumably the intended terrorizing effect, making people start to think about whether it's safe to go to the grocery store, whether it's safe for their kids to go to school, about what they are going to do specifically if somebody knocks on their door. Our own Alex Wagner has been attending the Know Your Rights trainings that have been happening in Elizabeth, New Jersey, where immigrant communities have been learning and practicing what to do if, for example, ICE were to show up at your door one day. It's practical advice, it's step-by-step instructions about how to handle living in this moment of terrorizing uncertainty and fear.
Do you think about ICE coming to knock on your front door?
Sí.
And do you think in that moment you'll know what to do?
Ahora mismo estoy completamente segura de lo que se puede hacer y lo que no se debe hacer. Sí me da susto porque mi hijo pequeño corre a abrir la puerta sin mirar. Entonces la idea es que unidos en familia le expresemos a nuestros hijos, no importa la edad que tengan, para que ellos puedan saber cuál es la actitud que hay que tomar, no inyectarles miedo, sino al contrario, valor de unidad en familia, de que todos vamos a estar comprometidos y nada nos va a pasar, porque no debemos tener miedo.
You have a son. How old is he?
One is 11, one is 7, and my older is 24.
For the two younger sons, have you talked to them about what's happening?
Yes, they know. They listen outside in the school with other kids. And I explain to all my kids what's going on. Don't be afraid. Everything is going to be okay. We are okay. You are okay. Don't open the door in any case.
You tell them they're safe, but you also say, don't open the door. So do they feel safe?
I don't feel safe.
Joining us now is the great Alex Wagner, who has been doing frontline reporting all over the country for this first 100 days of the new administration. Alex, I have been keeping your seat warm and trying to do right by you in holding down the fort while you have been out in Trumpland. Thanks for being here. How's it been going?
Oh, Rachel, it's tough out there. You know, I will say we talk a lot about how crushing this fear is, how omnipresent it is, the fact that sometimes the ICE agents may show up at schools or hospitals. They may show up at church. They may be wearing ICE uniforms. They may not. They may have a warrant. They may not. And certainly the communities, these marginalized communities that have been thrust into the shadows, feel terrified, right? That part is working. But at the same time, you know, these trainings that are happening across the country, led by community groups, are a form of empowerment that I honestly wasn't expecting to see, right? One of the things they do is they run these role-playing exercises for what, you know, immigrants should do if ICE comes to your door. And they literally have one immigrant play the ICE agent and one play, you know, himself or herself. And they sort of map out a strategy for how to deal with ICE in ways that are constitutionally sound and lawful. And what's so amazing about it is it's a way for these people to confront what is their sort of darkest, basest fear in this moment, the knock on the door from ICE, and sort of figure out how they'll behave in that moment and come up with a plan. And I saw in the course of these trainings the way that people who were otherwise trepidatious and basically terrified came to sort of have agency over themselves and a feeling that acting as a community, they had some power in all of this. And I would love it if we could just take a listen to one of those trainings to give people a sense of what's happening on the other side of this.
Yeah, please.
So I'm going to paint the scene. Karine is in her home. She doesn't have a keyhole, but she does have a window. The door does have a lock. And there is nobody in the home that has a deportation order. So, con eso.
Tac, tac. ¿No? Sí. Tac, tac. ¿Pueden abrir la puerta? ¿Pueden abrir la puerta? Andamos buscando una persona con nombre de Juana.
¿Juana qué?
Juana Gutiérrez,
No, acá no vive ninguna Juana Gutiérrez.
por favor, ¿puedes abrir la puerta?
¿Tiene una orden?
Juana Gutiérrez, estamos buscando a Juana Gutiérrez.
Aquí no vive ninguna Juana Gutiérrez.
Muchísimas gracias a nuestros voluntarios. There will never be enough lawyers in this movement to keep us safe. And so it is incredibly important that we remember that these trainings are like muscle memory. The same way children do fire drills and now they walk out of the school and they're texting, they're not even thinking. That's the sort of muscle memory we want to build here.
Rachel, there's obviously the political sort of aspect of all of this. Trump can basically deport whoever he wants, but there's the story of human suffering that is part of this. And what really struck me about this is it's the essence of human resilience, right? These people have not given up on America. They still believe in the Constitution. They want to be part of our democracy, and they want to exert their equal rights under the law. It was pretty extraordinary.
It is extraordinary. It's amazing to see it as it's happening. We've been reporting, all week long for this last couple of weeks about all the different kinds of pushback that are happening, all the different kinds of friction that are being created for this administration. People defending their own communities, defending their own families, defending themselves within the Constitution, within the law, and not being as hard a target as possible for this stuff is a really, really, really big part of that. It's really moving to see, Alex. Thank you for going and for filming it and for coming here to show it to me.
Thank you for giving it some airtime, Rachel.
I appreciate it.